another lecture of our course EC312. So in this lecture, we are going to look at assignment statement and arithmetic expressions. So in general form, any statement or any mathematical statement of your C++ code will have a left hand side. There's an assignment operator and there is a right hand side. The right hand side is called as the expression. The left hand side is called as the destination. So expression can be of, for example, simple as addition. For example, I can say 2 plus 3 is an expression and I can assign it to some variable c. So c is your destination and this is your expression. Now 2 plus 3 is actually a number. Instead you can have variables like a plus b, where a and b might be having some values. This is a simple addition. Similarly, you can have multiplication, division, or any other operation. So the right hand side, this part is your expression. This will be evaluated and it will be, the value will be assigned to the left hand side, which is the destination. So basically, you compute the value of expression and store in destination. That's what assignment statement means. So if you look at this example, you see that this is a simple code in which you are doing an addition. The variables in this program are a, b, and c. Okay, this is the same program that we have done in the first class, where you take in the values for a and b from the user, add the values and put it in C. Add the values and the result is put it in C. So here this is the statement where we are doing that. So a plus b is your expression. And this is evaluated first. And then the value is put in C. So the evaluation of the statement C equal to a plus b is from right to left. Okay. So in C++ assignment statement, it is not same as equality in max. In max, we will do a plus b equal to c, which is meaningful, right? For example, x plus y is equal to 5 or 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. This is max. But this is not same in C++. In C++, you can even have c equal to c plus 1. That is totally valid statement. Now, what are the rules? The destination, which is the left hand side, and the expression, which is the right hand side, should have the same data type. What is data type? Whenever you declare a variable, you will specify a data type for that variable. Let's see this example. So in this example, you see that the variables a, b, and c are of type int. Okay. Now, when you do the assignment, which is in this statement, you see that a has the same data type as that of b, and a and b both has the same data type of that of c, which is int. There is no problem, or I would say it is valid to do assignment with different data types, but it will give you unwanted errors, or the compiler will give warning, not an error, if both sides are different. The output of the program might be wrong if they are different. That's a very important statement. Okay. We might do some exercises on how the output is different when the data type is different. Okay. So as a rule of thumb, make sure the right hand side has the same data type as that of the left hand side. So data type should match. Okay, let's try this. So when you have this program where you see that C is shortened, okay, and A and B are int. So, and you are assigning C is equal to A plus B. And now you see that C has a different data type which is shortened, and B has a different data type which is int. Will there be any problem when you do this statement? Actually, you could have done this statement by giving the input as follows. You give A is equal to 60,000 and B is equal to 7,000 and try to print the value of C, and you will get to know the difference. So let's try to analyze this. Okay. So A is int, which means, or let me put it in a new slide. So A is int, B is int, C is shortened. In the last class, we have studied that int means it is 4 bytes, that is 32 bits. B is also int, which means it can store maximum 4 bytes, it is 32 bits. Shortened means it is 2 bytes, which is 16 bits. Now, if you specify simply int, it means it is an signed int, which means the signed bit will be considered. Okay, so the maximum value that can be stored in this 4 bytes of data is 2 raised to 31 minus 1, positive, and minus 2 raised to 31. Okay, this is the range for this. For this, it is 2 raised to 6, sorry, let me do it again. A is int, 4 bytes, B is also int, 4 bytes, C is shortened, which is 2 bytes. So the maximum data here is ranging from minus 2 raised to 31 to 2 raised to 31 minus 1, which is same for this. Here it is minus 2 raised to 15 to 2 raised to 15 minus 1. You see the difference. Okay. So if I say A is equal to, if I enter, the user enters the value of A as 2 raised to 31, some big value, and B is also as 2 raised to 31, very high value. When you add A plus B, you will get 2 raised to 32. Okay. Now when you put C is equal to 2 raised to 32, you see that C can hold only maximum of this value, which is 2 raised to 15. Implies the value which will be stored inside C will not be 2 raised to 32, but it will be some other value. Even if you don't take 2 raised to 31, if I take A is equal to 2 raised to 15 and B is also equal to 2 raised to 15, when you do A plus B, this is 2 raised to 16. So C is equal to 2 raised to 16, but maximum value in C is 2 raised to 15 minus 1, okay, which is less than 2 raised to 16. So 2 raised to 16 cannot be stored inside C. So what it does is, it will truncate the rest of the bits. Okay, so there are 16 bits in this one. Okay, sorry, there are 17 bits in this one because it's 2 raised to 16, and there are 16 bits in this one. So what happens is the last bit, the MSB 17th bit, will be truncated and only the rest of the part will be taken. So we will understand this more using some exercises. Okay, so that's what is happening. So when you run this program by taking, this is actually 8 bits, sorry, 16 bits, you can see that the value at the output C is not 67,000. Okay, you can try it at home. So this is an example. So you give the two numbers 6,000 and 7,000. I have run the program and it says that the sum is 1464. It is not 67,000 because the C cannot store that much amount of value. That's a very, very important concept. So whenever you write a program or whenever you design a code, make sure you understand what can be the maximum possible values a variable can hold and assign a data type according to that. Okay, let's go to arithmetic expressions. In maths or in usual algebra, we write expressions. As I said earlier, 2 plus 3 is an expression, 2 minus 3 is an expression, 4 into 5 is an expression in maths, 6 by 3 is another expression in maths, etc. Similarly, in our code, in C++ code, you can write an expression. So if A, B and C are variables, I can have different operators. In maths, we have plus, minus, multiplication and division operators. In C++, we have plus, which is for addition, minus, which is for subtraction, star is for multiplication, slash, backslash is for division, and a special operator called as percentage, which gives a reminder. Okay, so 5% 3 gives a reminder when 5 is divided by 3. Okay, so the arithmetic expressions correspondingly are A plus B for adding a values of the variables A and B, A minus B for adding the values of the variables A and B, B into C, A by C, A percentage C. Okay, so these are all the arithmetic expression. Now the question is, what is the data type of A plus B? Usually when you write the code, you say int A comma B. Okay, and let's say I have another variable called as C. Let's say I have A, sorry, int A comma B comma C, and I say C is equal to A plus B. Okay, so if A and B are int, what is the data type of A plus B? So it depends on data types of A plus B, A and B both int implies A plus B, A minus B, A into B, A by B, A percentage B are all int. So all will have an integer value. So even if let's say A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 3, A plus B is equal to 8. This is an integer value. What about A by B? This is equal to 5 by 3. Now the question is 5 by 3, the output or the result is not an integer value. It's a decimal value. It's something around 1.666. But still I am saying the result is an integer because when you say C is equal to A by B, and if C is an integer, then when you assign the value 1.6 to C, since C is an integer, it will truncate all the decimal places and the value of C will be 1. Okay, so it depends on what is on the left hand side. Okay, that's a sample program that you need to work it out. Write a program to divide two variables of integer types and give the input numbers as 5 and 2. What is the output? Is it correct? So you see that int C comma A comma B you say A is equal to 5, B is equal to 2, and say C is equal to A by B, and you say C out C. What is the output? You can see that you get the output as 2, because 5 by 2 is equal to 2.5, but C is an integer which it can hold only values without decimal places. So it will truncate this decimal point and assign only the value 2. So C is equal to 2. Okay. So this is the program for division. Okay. And you see that when you give two numbers 5 and 2, A by B is equal to 2. So the actual output decimal number is 2.5. Only a float or double data types can be used to represent a floating point number. Here C is int. If C had been float, then you could have got the result as 2.5. But since C is an int, it will not give any decimal places. So remember, if you want to get decimal places for a number, you should have a floating point data type for the variable. So since variable C is int, the output will be decimal point truncated integer, that is 2. Now so you are given one program here. Okay. Now you see that A, B and C are float. Fine. Now is it necessary for you to have, so I need to get my output value in terms of decimal places. So C should definitely be float. But is it necessary for A and B to be float to get the value in C with decimal places? That's a question. So my question is, can I have something like this? Int A comma B float C, C is equal to A by B. If I do this, will the value in C be in decimal places? That's the question. So you can just check it out. So the homework is like this. In the previous program, do all the variables needs to be float? If not, which all variables needs to be float? Okay. So the program should have minimum number of variables to be in floating data type. Okay. So it can have A to be float, or B to be float, or A and B to be float, A, B and C to be float, etc. So you should have the minimum number of variables to be float in the previous program to get the correct result in decimal places. That's a homework. Next is operator precedence. This is a very important topic. So let's say I have an arithmetic expression like this: A plus B into C plus D. Now the question is, how will it be evaluated? Will it do A plus B first, then it is multiplied by C, then it is added to D? So that is what it is given here. Is it so? Is this B, you add A to B into C, then add D, or you do A plus B, then you multiply it with C plus D, or do you do A plus B, then you multiply C, then this add to D? So what is the correct statement? And it depends on operator precedence. In C++, you have star has higher precedence than plus. Precedence means priority. Okay. In max, if I do 2 plus 3 into 4 plus 5, what's the result? Is it like you add 2 plus 3, then you multiply by 4, then you add 5, or do you do 3 into 4, then add 5, then add 4? Answer is 2 plus 3 into 4 plus 5 in max does it like this. First it will multiply 3 into 4, you get the result 12. It will be added with 2 and 5, and that result is 90. Similarly, in C++ also, if you have star, it has the highest precedence. So the operators to the left and right of star will be evaluated. Then it will be added with others. So what about A plus B minus C plus D? Okay. In C++, plus and minus have the same precedence. Okay. So it will be evaluated from left to right. So it will first do A plus B, then the result will be subtracted with C and it will be added with B. So left to right evaluation for same precedence operators. Similarly, star, division and arithmetic and remainder operation have same precedence and they are left associative, means it will be evaluated from left to right. So the best practice is always to put a bracket, because if you put a bracket, it will be evaluated first and then the rest will be evaluated. We will see an example. It can be used to override a default operator precedence. This is the parenthesis. Okay, for example, 2 plus 3 into 4 plus 5. Okay, so this is actually 12 plus 5, 2. This is 19. If I want to change the precedence, what I do is like something like this: 3 into 4 plus 5. I can put a bracket. So the bracket will be evaluated first. So this will be 5. Then the next higher precedence, which is multiplication, this is 4 plus 5. Here this will be 20 plus 5 is equal to 25. So depending on where you put the parenthesis or the bracket, the precedence of the operators will change. And it is very useful when we are doing complex expressions. Actually, wherever you are doing an arithmetic operation, always put brackets, even if it is not necessary. So it will always evaluate from innermost parenthesized expression to outwards. For example, let's say 2 plus 3 into 4 plus 5. So I can do something like this. So this will be evaluated first, and then this will be evaluated and it will be added with 5. So this is called as a precedence chart. It is very handy when you are doing complicated programs. So highest precedence is for scope resolution operator, which is 4 dots. We will see all these things. Next precedence come to the primary operator, which is bracket, square bracket, dot, arrow, dynamic casting, etc. Then the precedence comes to unary operators, which is plus, minus, exclamation, etc. And you see the associativity is from left to right for these two, but is right to left from this. What is meant by associativity? It means that if you have all this operator in the same line, 2 into 3 into 4 by 5, you see that multiplication and division have same precedence. So if such a thing happens, then it will be evaluated from the left, that is left to right. So 2 into 3 will be evaluated, then the result will be multiplied by 4, then the result will be divided by 5. But in the case of unary operators, it will be evaluated from right to left. Okay. Then you have pointer. So this is priority number 1, priority number 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So multiplication, division, and remainder has same precedence, which is above addition and subtraction. There is bitwise operation, relational operator, equality, bitwise and assignment has the least precedence, and there is a comma. Okay. So the question is like this. I have the same statement for x but with different operators in each of the bullets. What is the value for each? Let's take the first one. X equal to minus 3 plus 4 multiplied by 5 minus 6. So you see among plus, multiplication and minus, multiplication has the highest precedence. So it will be something like this. So 4 into 5 will be evaluated first, which is 20. It will be subtracted from 6 and added with minus 3. So the answer is 11. Okay. Next, you have plus, percentage, minus. If you look at the precedence chart, you see that percentage has higher precedence than plus and minus. So it will first evaluate the operation of percentage. So 4 percentage 5. Reminder, when 4 is divided by 5 is 4. Then it will be added with 3, which is 7, subtracted with 6, which is equal to 1. So you see that the value is. Next, you have multiplication, remainder and division. All have same precedence. That is what here says. Multiplication, division and remainder all have same precedence. So it says that if all have same precedence, it is evaluated from left to right. So what is the leftmost thing? This. So it will evaluate minus 3 into 4. Then it will find the remainder of the result of minus 3 into 4 when it is divided by minus 6 and it is divided by 5. So basically this is written as minus 3 into 4 percentage minus 6 divided by 5. So this is minus 12 percentage minus 6 divided by 5. Reminder, when minus 12 is divided by minus 6 is 0. 0 by 5 is equal to 0. So that's your answer. X equal to 0. The last one, you see there is a bracket. So although plus have lower precedence than that of percentage and division, since there is a bracket here, this will be evaluated first, which will be 13. Percentage 5 by 2, it is left to right. So it will be like this. So 13 percentage 5 is 3 by 2 is equal to 1. If x is int, this is 1. Actually it is 1.5, but since x is int, it can store only an integer value which is 1 after truncating 0.5. Okay. Now write the program to evaluate each of these arithmetic expressions. Okay. So this is already the program. So you can try this in your IDE, write this program and run it and see what is the output. The homework is like this. First, you try to evaluate each of these expressions by hand and find out what is the value, x equal to how much in each of the cases. Then you write a program to find out to print the value of x in each of these cases. So that is your homework. Okay. So that ends our today's lecture. So please do this homework as an assignment and submit it before Wednesday. Thank you.